Welcome, everyone. I'm here this morning with another brilliant mind, a dear friend that I've met through business. I just always feel so grateful for the work that I do, that I get to meet so many interesting people every day. And if we haven't already met, I'm Laurel Lyon, creator of Mind Your Business and Aspiring to Inspiring, where I interview interesting entrepreneurs who provide a range of services. And I just really am so grateful for this online capacity in order to connect with other people. So today I have Basset-Cripps, pardon me, with me. And we met through networking events, I think already last year. And we see each other kind of regularly on different events that we're both on. And Abidel is Ladies of Justice Tech Assist. She's a combination of services, which she's really talented and passionate about helping people with their tech challenges and getting them seen and heard online. Welcome, Abidel.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, my pleasure. So this is so fabulous. I'm in the center of Canada, and you're on the East Coast in Ontario. And tell me the name of where it is.
It is a little town called Emsdale.
Emsdale. I wanted to
Yeah.
say something else, but and
Yeah.
isn't that great that we can be here? And you kind of, I think you live in Bug Tussle, kind of like I live in Bug Tussle, kind of way the heck and gone, but we can access the world, our clients, through online. And
Yes.
but you have a really special skill set, because is it easy getting online?
For me, yes.
For you, yes, I love that answer. And I've been online since 2014, and it was not easy. I did a lot of all-nighters, and I had tech support, and tech was so much different then. Well, I would say it was different, but here's the thing for these times that we're in right now, is that it's getting easier, it's getting less expensive, it's getting easier, but people still have challenges. And I just want to say hello to everybody who's joining us live. I'm here with Abidel Basset-Cripps, who is Tech Assist. And Abidel, tell us what you do in Tech Assist.
Well, my little tagline that I'm working on is putting you first for your technical needs and being safe and secure with today's technology. And so basically, whatever your computer issue is, whether it be software, how to use, repair, I'm here to help.
Okay. How did you come to be doing this work?
Well, it was back in the 80s, late 80s, that my father brought in a computer into the home, and we started learning on that with DOS and Windows 3.1.
I'm
And
just going to interrupt, because you know what? Anyone watching, there's a good chance that the majority of them don't know what you're saying.
okay,
I do.
okay. So back in the beginning, I started to learn, and I was enjoying it. And as time went on, I was helping friends and family and friends of friends and so on, and helping them with their computers, setting it up, doing repairs, even including education. And I was enjoying it, but it was a part-time hobby passion. And as of 2015, I started doing this full-time after I retired from truck driving.
Oh, that's kind of a switch.
Yes.
So,
Well, truck driving was an easy one for me because I'm a traveler. And so it was like a no-brainer job for me. And it was something that I would always be having a job. And so when I retired in 2015 from it, I finally had enough. And friends convinced me to do this as a business because I was still doing this effort of helping people with their computers and so on. And not just computers, but TVs, stereos, all kinds of a technology. And So it just made sense to make it a business.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I just realized another commonality that you and I share is that I actually come from a truck driver family. I've driven an 18 wheeler. Not very much, but I have a sister who's a professional driver, and my dad was yeah, ran companies and drove truck for all of his life. So that traveler, I think maybe that's part of it, because that sure is me too. That the what's around the corner, what's around the bend, being on the road and seeing the world and learning how to work with tech and going online allowed me to do that. And that's such a common thing out in the world today, that people are living that online lifestyle because they can take their business with them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you see people struggle with the most, like, when it comes to computers and running their business? Because here's a demographic that's really switched fast, right? From
Yeah.
having a computer to doing everything through here, because it's
Which
not
is
the
computer.
same, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the funny thing is that even a phone now is a computer. In fact, the phone in many aspects is the same as a computer from the late 90s in terms of RAM, CPU, etc. So there's the aspects that are transferred to a smaller device, and yeah, it just is. It's just wonderful being able to help. I
Right.
love. Yeah.
Um, think one of the most interesting pieces of nostalgia, I'll call it nostalgia, is that this device has a greater computer capacity than what put the first men on the moon, if you believe that story too. but,
I do.
but the computer capacity, that to me was really quite amazing. And what I say, working, like some people will, because we're all on Zoom calls, right? And it's like, how come I can't see this and that? Because being on your Zoom on your phone is different than when you're on your Zoom in your computer. And
Yes.
same with your Facebook, it works differently. But understanding that route that happens with the different apps, I think is may be one of the biggest struggles that people have, because it's like,
Yeah.
this isn't working.
Yes.
Using your hard drive, your hard connection, like using an Ethernet. We were laughing to everyone that's hopping on this morning. Welcome. Thanks so much. I'm here with Abidel Basset-Cripps, who's an expert in tech support. And we're talking computers, we're talking tech, and Abidel really works in a wide range, because she's like me. I was around in the 80s. I took automated office administration actually in the 90s, learning DOS and everything, and it was like so much, and I walked away from it actually, because it was just too much. It wasn't as much fun as it is today, but that's the basis for what's going on here. What would
Yes.
you share with people, how you help them?
Well, I help them through. Well, nowadays with COVID, I help majority of my customers through Zoom or a program called AnyDesk. So I help through the internet, and I help with. I first find out what the issue is, and start to customize a solution to give them happiness with their computer. It, yeah,
That should be a program in itself. Happiness with your computer, a happy marriage with your computer. Oh, I used to have a PC, and I was constantly having, having to renew the what do you call it? The anti-spam. It's been so long since I've done
antivirus.
that. I can't. Antivirus. That's it. And I'm married to a Mac guy, so he'd be in one end of the house with his Macs, and I'm at the other end with PC, and I would be crying. And it was always before an event. And it's, yeah, stressful. I would say it's amazing I still have hair because the stress of all of that. Um, if you could uh, teach people one thing so that they would have more ease in their life with their computer love, or to give them computer love, what would that be?
Um, I think the main thing would be to teach them how to properly maintain the software. Not very many people are aware of what to do.
Oh, well, tell us some things about that, because you're right. I agree with you.
Yeah. Well, it's a combination of software, and I use CCleaner by Pureform. I hope I said that right. Um, and the free version is quite adequate, or you can go with the pay for, which gives you more features. The bottom line is that is one big step in the direction of protecting your computer from crashing. And then there's other software I use as well.
Well, I want to talk to you about online security too, because when your computer is weakened because you don't understand how it works, and you don't have, if you have a PC and you need an antivirus and so on, but you don't have that. I fell victim to that scam that was going on because I was so frustrated with my PC that it's like there's always something going on. And I got a phone call and it's like, hey, this is Microsoft calling because we noticed that you were having problems with your computer. And I was like, I was in the throes of desperation because this computer was like, and I told him everything he needed to know. And he's like, oh yeah, we're in there. We're going to clean it up for you. We're going to, my husband was literally physically just coming home when I was at the end of it. And it's like, no,
Oh,
honey, give me the password. I can't remember my password. Give me, because it was the password to my bank account to give them the money. And my husband grabbed the phone out of my hand and clicked it. And he says, honey. And I'm like, and I was mad at him because it's like, no, they were helping me.
no.
I was a crazy lady because it's like, this made me crazy, all these problems. And it was after that that I just listened to him. He's a Mac guy. He loves his Mac. We have a few Macs. And he really knows how to work with them. So he
Awesome.
set me up, and it was my own resistance. So for those of you watching, your own resistance to understanding your equipment and how it works is what will get you into trouble. So when you're in trouble, you need Abidel.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, right.
Yeah. I always tell people, don't go by Microsoft calls. They don't call first. You organize a call from them. And all those ones where they call first, if there are any kind of tech support, they are all scams.
Yeah. Oh, Norton right now there's a scam going on with Norton right now where they're sending out emails. Your antivirus subscription is ready to renew. Let's just confirm your information. I'm receiving them daily, and I'm just hitting spam, spam, spam. So do that. Hit the spam, the little thing at the top of your email, so that they see what's going on and they block them in your email. Because yeah, I couldn't believe that I fell victim to that, but I was so desperate for help.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was before you met me, I'm sure.
Pardon me?
I'm sure that was before you met me.
Well, this is absolutely true. And before I got on my Mac. My husband loves it when I plug Mac. He's an Apple guy. So we have a friend in common in business that was viciously hacked and lost so much, and you helped her out. And so you want to talk about what happens there. And this is because this is happening to so many people that because sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. She was like many people, quite vulnerable to anything.
Can I just ask, why was she vulnerable?
because most people don't know. And she didn't know at the time what she had to do to protect herself. And so she went ahead with her business, not being protected. Antivirus is not the only solution. It's only a piece of the puzzle. And so she got hacked. That's okay.
I'm fooling around.
Yeah, that's okay. So she had gotten hacked and lost some money, and I was able to step in at one point because she was fairly new to me, and so she got some steps done as a result. But I helped her with the final step that she needed, which was a secure router, not an off-the-shelf plug it in router, but a good router with where I went into it and changed settings to make it secure. And now with the other steps she's taken, plus what I've helped her with, she's hackers are going to go to her computer and go, oh, not easy here. I'm going to go somewhere else.
Well, I learned a really good lesson with that too, is that log out, sign out of all of your apps, especially Facebook and those apps, because when we keep them open, that's how people come in and get access to and take over. I've seen it so many times. I'll be talking to someone that it is like, oh, that's a funny message from them. Yeah, and that's because you haven't logged out. And a simple way to fix it, right, is just to log out, change your password.
Yes.
Don't make it easy for them.
That's right.
That friend, common friend that we have, she lost a fair bit of money because they got access to her account, and it was the downtime from her business. But it just we all really felt for her because the stress of having that happen. They say people don't report it because, first of all, it's embarrassing. Many people have lost tons of money, tens of thousands of dollars, and they don't report it because they feel stupid or embarrassed. Like that was from a police officer. Yeah.
That is so true. And I always do the encouragement of, it doesn't matter how embarrassing it is. The question is not stupid. It's viable, and I can help.
Yeah.
I always give that reassurance that all will be good.
Right. Because the average person doesn't, my mom would say, they screw their socks on in the morning. They're so crooked. We typically are not like that. We don't think that way. So we don't expect people to be doing that kind of work. And it's not anything personal. Like, here's the thing is that you're not even considered. They're just looking for access.
Yes.
So let go of the shame. And another way that you helped her was through Ladies of Justice and Legal Shield. And would you talk about Legal Shield? Because it's fabulous.
Yes. Well, with Legal Shield, I'll start at a certain point. I was doing my tech assist, and a friend came to me and said, well, I explained to him what I'm doing. And he said, well, what about ID Shield? Isn't that a competitor? And I said, well, explain to me. So he explained it to me, and it was like a light bulb. It's another great layer to security. And Legal Shield with the ID Shield, combined with what I do, makes it cybersecurity for the individual and small business. So with ID Shield, it protects your identity. You log in all your information, and it scans the internet under an extraordinary amount of servers it checks, and you get a report monthly, if not sooner, if something happened. And they help restore your identity back to pre-theft status. And that is awesome. So combined with the Legal Shield and ID Shield, it's just phenomenal coverage. You've got legal services with Legal Shield. You in both cases, you pay a small monthly fee, and you never have to worry about the big retainer and trying to pay that big legal bill. It's all done by Legal Shield.
Yeah, well, it's just such a phenomenal service, and it's been around for a really long time. I'm amazed that I only recently learned of it, and that it's been around so long. So, and so many people don't know about it, and so you want to get a hold of Abidel for more information about that. So, all of the links to connect with Abidel, I'm going to be putting on this platform here. But what I'll say is that um, we're live streaming to several different platforms. So you might not see it here. And Abidel will come back after the interview and put those links in the comments below, whichever platform you're coming in on. So, but she's on Facebook, LinkedIn. She has a website. You want to talk about your website?
Well, my website is the business name. It's tech-assist.ca. And it's a very basic site because I don't need to do very much with it. But I have an internet safety page, which leads to more information about the security and a little bit more about what I do. And the PDF is available for free. It gives you a start on the internet safety, some things you can do for free, and some things I can do for you.
Is that the PDF, the safety PDF?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm posting that right now for those who are watching, depending on if you don't see it come across in the comments, it will be there very soon. So I've posted that. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that? What information they'll get from is it a questionnaire or?
No, it's done up as more of an information PDF. It talks about the base, it talks in simple language so that even a child can understand what I'm saying. At least that's the intent. Because even in school, they don't teach this stuff. They only teach how to use. They don't teach about cybersecurity. So I give this information in a very basic form, and hopefully no questions are required, but I am available for any questions for any further detail on any of the topics I talk about in the PDF.
And I'm just posting your Calendly link that people can reach out, and you'll get on a brief call with them and answer their questions and tell them what their next step could be. So I've just posted that too. And thank you to everyone who's joining us live. Welcome. I'm here with Abidel Basset-Cripps, who's joining me from the East Coast. Say it again.
Emsdale, Ontario.
Hamsdale. I'm sorry. I have too many locations in my brain already this morning. So thanks for keeping me on track there, Abidel. So I want to, is there anything that you'd like to share with people that are watching before we say goodbye? Is a tip?
A tip. I could give all kinds of tips. Okay, one tip would be to make sure that if you're buying a new computer, that you set it up yourself, because I don't recommend the full recommendations that Microsoft asks, because it slows down your computer and adds to your vulnerability, sorry about that, on the internet. So you get the box, take it home, don't have the store set up, because they'll just set it up with the full recommendation, and then it's hard to turn those things off. So that's one tip of many that I have for people.
That's really valuable. I went through that so many times. That was where more than once, one of the reasons why my computer was so challenged. And it's true. Always check. I think it's a good habit, don't you, to regularly check your default settings, because every time they go through an upgrade, apps too, Facebook too, all of those, go in and make sure the settings are what you want.
Yes.
Because it's kind of like,
even if you set them to secure, when Facebook does a change, like LinkedIn, Twitter, etc., when they do a change, they default back to their settings. Yeah. So when you see something different on any app or platform, go ahead and, including Windows, go back to your settings and make sure everything is the way you want it.
Yeah. And if you're in doubt, here's another thing that I learned is Google University. It's, you know what, if you're wondering if you're being hacked or if this is right, and you want to be sure, reach out to Abidel. If Abidel can't get to you, just do a little quick Google search to ask the question and see if other people are having the problem too. And then you'll see that, you know, there's maybe a scam going on and so on. That's where it'll help you to confirm, but always get a hold of an expert like Abidel.
Yes. One additional little tip. DuckDuckGo is a Google search, but it's safer and gives you better results.
.go. Okay.
No, duck.
Oh, duck. Oh, right. It's been a long time since I. Okay, if you type that in for me, and then we'll post that to people too. So that was really valuable. Thank you so much, Abidel. DuckDuckGo. So check out there. And what will they find there? What does that do?
Well, basically, if you go to the .com, it just basically brings you to an option to add it to your browser, and like a search option, if you don't already have it. So you can go into your settings and go for search, and then change the default from Bing to DuckDuckGo, because the default is Bing. That's why I say that. And you'll get the Google search, which will give you a very more wide-versed options from your request.
Okay, so I see I was posting stuff just back into the private chat. So I am now putting everything in the public chat. So you can go to techassist.ca, where you'll see all the links coming up now. And also that Abidel has a Calendly link and welcomes you to get on a call with her so that you can get to the root of your computer challenges, and she'll help you, we go through those muddy waters and figure out what your next step could be with her. So thank you so much, Abidel, for your time and your wisdom and for showing up here on a beautiful Saturday in our autumn. I don't know what it's like where you are. It's cool here. So
it's the same here.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who's on. We had a great audience list there today. So make sure you reach out to Abidel, check out the DuckDuckGo, and make sure that you contact Abidel when you're at that place. I think there's probably a lot that you can help. I know that there's a lot that you could help people prevent from being a full-blown situation. So,
yes.
Yeah. Thanks very much.
That's part of the PDF.
And yes, click the free PDF, the techassist.ca safety PDF. It's the second link there. Have yourself an amazing day. Thanks for joining us.